Ding task released first battle. Kill 20 skeleton soldiers to receive 50% of your current spiritual path experience progress. Just as Blood Phantom leaped down, a mechanical voice suddenly echoed in Ye Ling's mind. A task. Ye Ling was slightly surprised. He had originally thought the system only helped his spiritual pet gain more skills and evolve faster. He didn't expect there to be system tasks as well, and the reward was incredibly generous, directly offering a percentage of experience progress. This meant that by killing 20 skeleton soldiers, aside from the experience gained naturally, he would receive an additional 50% experience progress. This meant he could level up incredibly fast. While others were still running, he would already be riding a rocket. Thinking of this, Ye Ling looked at the group of skeleton soldiers below, his eyes gleaming. Blood Phantom, who had just leaped down, kicked a skeleton soldier's pale, shiny skull mid-air before landing. Crack! The already fragile bone shattered instantly. Of course, it wasn't the skull that broke but the neck bone. The headless skeleton soldier's body lost control and stood motionless. The skull that fell to the side still had a ghostly blue ghost fire burning inside. This ghost fire shouldn't be called ghost fire but soul fire, which was the control center of the skeleton soldier. The other skeleton soldiers noticed the anomaly and charged over, bone knives in hand. As for Blood Phantom, after kicking off one skeleton soldier's head, she landed steadily on the ground. Without missing a beat, she stomped heavily on the skull she had just kicked away. Crack! The pale skull shattered into bone fragments instantly. Bone fragments flew everywhere, but Blood Phantom remained expressionless. The ghostly blue soul fire inside the skull was exposed to the air and quickly dissipated. At the same time, Ye Ling received a system notification. Ding spiritual pet Blood Phantom successfully eliminated a skeleton soldier 1/20. This meant that the skeleton soldier had been completely destroyed. Moreover, Ye Ling saw that Blood Phantom's experience bar, which had been at 0, now showed 0.5. Though it wasn't much, it was important to note that this was just the experience from one skeleton soldier, and there were plenty of skeleton soldiers in this bone burial mound. Without considering the system task, eliminating 200 skeleton soldiers would allow Blood Phantom to level up. This was much faster than other spiritual pets. With the system task, it wouldn't even take 200 skeleton soldiers to level up. Blood Phantom's leveling speed far exceeded that of other spiritual pets. Thinking of the current situation, Ye Ling couldn't help but want to laugh out loud. But considering his location, he held back to avoid attracting too much attention from the skeleton soldiers. The skeleton soldiers surrounding Blood Phantom raised their bow knives and launched an attack. For these nearly mindless skeleton soldiers, they only had the instinct to fight. Blood Phantom eliminated them all, leave none behind. Ye Ling stood on high ground, issuing orders to Blood Phantom below. Blood Phantom, upon receiving the command, assumed an attack stance. Her pale hands had sharp black nails, typical of a zombie. Don't underestimate Blood Phantom's nails. They were as hard as a sharp weapon. Moreover, her nails carried a unique zombie poison. If she could break the enemy's skin, the poison would invade their body. The poison would spread inside, causing the enemy to die in agony. The death was always gruesome, with black blood oozing from the 7 orifices and the skin turning dark purple. These skeleton soldiers, though barely reaching first rank, second or third level, were no match for Blood Phantom. Only higher-ranked skeleton sergeants could pose a slight threat to her. Blood Phantom moved incredibly fast, unlike the slow-moving zombies of legend. Her afterimages flickered among the skeleton soldiers. In an instant, a skeleton soldier lost its skull, and the remaining bones collapsed to the ground. In no time, all the skeleton soldiers lay on the ground. Without exception, all had lost their skulls. When Blood Phantom reappeared before Ye Ling, she held several pale skulls in her hands. These skulls naturally belonged to the skeleton soldiers below. No need to keep them. Destroy them all. Seeing Blood Phantom holding the skulls, Ye Ling issued another command. Blood Phantom nodded slightly, crushing the skulls one by one. The ghostly blue soul fires gradually dissipated into the air.